What's going on, Internet? The Black Okage here, aka TBH. And to be honest, I'd like to welcome you guys back to the Game and Illuminati podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and you're now tuned into episode 130. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI updates, know this show is available on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon, and all other major podcast platforms. Although I don't know how much longer it's going to be on SoundCloud because y'all don't be listening over there and I'm wasting my money. Anyways, be sure to rate the show 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. We need your 5-star rating on Apple and Spotify to help push us in the algorithm to bring in new potential listeners and help the show grow. Now, allow me to introduce you to my co-hosts. The first of which was late to recording because he wanted to have a social life. This game developer, he's proving that not only is he capable of animating grass, but he's capable of touching it. Ethos, say what up to the people.
What up, everybody? The grass was great. It was freshly watered and everything.
Was it greener on the other side?
Yeah, you could say that.
True. And my other co-host, words can't explain how proud of him I am of this guy, man. He's finally decided to take swim lessons. He's been brave enough to not only take those swim lessons, but he shared them on his IG story. So I'm proud of you. Clap it up for him. UTX swim goggles and floaties to Don. Say what up to the people.
This is fake news because it's not me, it's my daughter. But
all right,
what? I could have swore I saw it was you in the water.
You are wilding, bro. You are wilding. There's no. My wife was in the water with my daughter.
That was
my
you with
daughter
the
is taking swimming lessons. No, Negro.
Wait. So you cannot swim still?
No.
Oh, I thought you could swim.
I just swim, or no, as in you can't swim.
No, I cannot swim.
Oh, why'd you jump in the water?
I'm not in the
water.
Yeah,
why would you? Why did you?
It's not, bro. It's not my class.
I actually didn't even know you couldn't swim. I was just joking.
But I mean, if you can't, don't you feel like this is like a free swimming lesson? Like,
no, I am fitting the black stereotype. Okay,
oh,
I cannot swim.
Gosh. So your daughter's gonna be able to swim before.
I will learn.
Hey, we gonna push this motherfucker in the pool one day.
Yeah, we definitely.
That's how I learned to swim, bro.
We definitely.
My cousins threw me in the pool and said, "Survive."
Oh my god!
Stay away from water when you're near us.
You figure it out real quick.
Oh man, you're surrounded.
Oh, here we go. We already been through this story.
Crazy. That's crazy.
But yes, my daughter is learning how to swim right now. Okay.
All right, bet. We gonna
be better than her dad.
Yeah, that's the point. That is literally the point, people. When you have children, make sure they have a better life than you. I didn't learn how to swim. She learned how to swim early. She's gonna be an international traveler. She's gonna be out here.
Well, I don't know about those, but I don't have children because I don't have sex. Your virginity resets every 24 hours. All right.
Well, I'm not. I don't have a virginity.
What in the world? Oh my god.
Well, I gotta wait 24 hours.
That's what I tell myself after what I did last night. Anyways, freebies for the month of July. It is July 2022 in which we're recording, and on Xbox, what games you'll be getting is Beast. It's just called Beast. I don't know what that is. Relictica, Trailville Off the Rails, and Torchlight. And fun fact, just so people are aware, these last few months these summer months, or the last few months, you'll be able to get Xbox 360 games on Games for Gold. They will be moving away from that, and only pretty much newer games will be a part of Games for Gold. Microsoft released a statement saying, beginning October 1st, 2022, the monthly games provided to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and Xbox Live Gold members via Games with Gold will no longer include Xbox 360 titles. We have reached the limit of our ability to bring Xbox 360 games to the catalog. However, Games with Gold will continue to include exciting Xbox One titles and an exclusive saving each month. So blah, blah, blah. You get the point. So Xbox One will be there as well as the new one, Xbox Series X and S. But no more 360 games. Are you guys sad about this? I'll take that as a no. All right.
No.
I'm trying to figure out who was playing these games, but yeah. So just be aware. Don't be mad when it happens in October. I couldn't find anything for July on PlayStation ever since they released the new PlayStation like premium schemes. That shit is like convoluted. I was looking for articles and I couldn't find like a definitive answer on what free games you get because now there's multiple packages and stuff. So I ain't got no news for y'all on PlayStation. But for PC, if you have Amazon Prime Gaming, you can get the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is a brand new game from like a year ago. If you haven't played Mass Effect, that's the best way to play it. You can get it for free on Amazon. Grid Legends, Republic Commando, and then Need for Speed Heat. Those are all solid titles.
That's gas.
Yeah, shout out to Amazon. So
one more deal.
What was it?
Right now, GameStop is having 50% off clearance sales in store. So fortunately, if you have to walk into a store, everything in that is about to be 50% off.
You just gotta step on some Legos and hurt your foot and shit in order for that to happen.
Is that because we're going into the next phase of the brick and mortar stores disappearing?
Yeah,
is that why they're doing it?
I forgot to put it on the notes, but I did read an article
Biden.
yesterday that I mean, I feel like we do this every year, but like this one, it seemed like it had more urgency than it were. Like they're about, they laid off a lot of people. They're in financial trouble again.
Yeah, once again, it looks like the great crypto war didn't work out.
And Reggie didn't help too. He said he dipped out. He said, "F this, bro."
That man just wanted something on his resume and then wrote his book and dipped.
I'm out.
Which, by the way, the Steam Summer Sale was happening since the last podcast. Did y'all pick anything up?
Yes.
What'd you get? Ethos?
Squad.
Squad?
Yes, I've been playing it nonstop for the past week and a half.
That's a game.
Yeah, Squad.
I thought you were like doing like a Waka Flocka impression. Squad. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what is that?
It's a basically it's like Battlefield, a little bit more hardcore, but it's basically like Battlefield, modern Battlefield. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's actually a lot of fun. It's got mics, so everybody has a mic, and you have to communicate. So it's hilarious. People be playing, Finito and stuff while we in the helicopter and shit. It's a great time. I've been playing with like Chaos and a bunch of other people.
What about you, Jay?
Nah, I didn't buy anything from the sale, but I just recently got the Quarry, and I'm about to refund it. So
refund it.
Play it through Ethos Dale.
Save it for later. I ended up picking up Tales of Arise, Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition, because that's the new one, right? The newer one.
Metro, which one?
Exodus.
Yes, that's
okay. I was just making sure I didn't buy the wrong shit because I hadn't played that one yet. It was on sale. I got Neon White because I heard a lot of people talking a lot of really good shit about that game. Those are the games I bought. I probably will never play them, but they were on sale for really cheap, and I was like, damn. I was like, I might dabble in them, just like, get my toes wet a little bit, try them out.
Neon's one of those like games where you can just pick it up, play it a little bit, enjoy it, and tip.
So I gotta commit to that.
You do not have to commit. It's a speedrunning game, so you can run through it super fast.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to stream that one.
Really fun. It's really fun.
I've heard nothing but positive about that game. So Steam Summer Sales. Let us know if you're watching the video version at youtube.com/GI updates. Did you guys pick anything up on the Steam sale? Let us know in the comment section what you pick up and why. And then let's see, moving on to delays and release dates. For me, seeing is still believing. But since the last podcast, we did get a confirmation on when God of War Ragnarok will release. It drops November 9th, 2022. And this comes fresh off the heels of people basically bullying the developers into the release date because they were catching a lot of flack on social media. Y'all will still forever, and this doesn't apply, let it fly, but y'all forever be weird for me doing this type of shit. But you got what you wanted, a release date, November 9th. What's this doing for you, Jay, Ethos? Do we believe this will actually come out in November?
I mean, at this point, for them waiting this long, and I know we were talking about it the last podcast, Corey Balrog coming back to Twitter and, constantly teasing it, and everybody just coming after him, just saying, give me a freaking date, give me a freaking date. I think that this one will be here, and I think that's the final date. I don't think there are going to be any more delays. And I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm wrong. About that, but it seems so unlikely because they just been waiting, just been literally hearing no news. So I'm glad they finally announced it. I don't know if this was truly because they were getting bullied into it and they were like, well, here's the freaking release date. Like, just shut up, stop bothering us. But that would be funny if it was. Like, they were like, we're sick of this. Like, we're tired of just holding this news for this long. And here you go. Here's the date. This is when it's coming out. So be excited for it. So, I mean, now we have this Clash of the Titans, I should say, because apparently, according to Jeff Keighley in the Game Awards, unless things change or he changes the rules or somebody else changes the rules, this game will be technically eligible for Game of the Year this year. So we'll see when the game comes out. I mean, it's going to be a short time frame for people to really like sit there and dive with it because December is literally the next month, but we'll see. It's going to be Elden Ring versus God of War because I don't think anything else is going to be really eligible.
We all forgot about Horizon.
Yeah, no, Horizon. Yeah, all right.
Well, to be honest, to be fair, as somebody who played it, that game was never. Even if I'm gonna be honest, even if Elden Ring and God of War didn't come out this year, I still wouldn't give it like it. Okay, you would have to give it Game of the Year off of default because like it's a
like
good game.
Yeah,
it's a good game, but it just doesn't do anything to push the gameplay forward. It's painfully safe. Unfortunately, it's just really high, and it hides behind high production values.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that Steam sale. I mean that PS5 sale or whatever.
And that's where I was gonna actually take the conversation because the joke on the podcast for the longest has been, well, what else is gonna, especially since Starfield got delayed, what is gonna beat Elden Ring for Game of the Year? And I'm still going to give the edge to Elden Ring, even though God of War hasn't came out, for the simple reason that like I don't expect any type of innovative gameplay from God of War Ragnarok. Between all the PS2, 3, and the PSP game, like all the ones that came out, and then as well as the 2018 one, like we kind of know what it is from a gameplay standpoint. So like in order for it to win Game of the Year, in my opinion, it's gonna have to have like the most immaculate fucking story, bro. Like it's gonna have to like blow us out, like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Like I cannot wait for the next one. Because I could be wrong. I just can't see what they're gonna do from a gameplay standpoint that's gonna just wow me. What about you though, Ethos?
Oh god, I'm dying laughing. Ethos, please talk about it because that's an amazing segue.
Oh man, I agree. I completely agree with you. I think it would be insane for people to, I even think now, to set a standard for this game, considering the game's not even out yet. Even now, I say we really don't know really anything about this game similar to Starfield. We just know based off of what the previous game's plot points were and just a little bit of gameplay footage that they showed a year ago. But other than that, we really don't know like what innovations or new things they've changed with the game. Like we don't know if this is going to be more 2018 with just more content, which that's what it seems like to me right now from what I've seen from the trailer. I haven't seen anything in the trailer. I was like, wow, that's holy man, that I've never seen that before. Oh man, that's that's completely different from 2018. It feels like they just took 2018 and they're like, all right, we're gonna expand on this basically. Nothing wrong with that. I had this I was thinking of a good comparison, and I think I came up with a good one a week ago when I was thinking about this. Is I feel like God of War Ragnarok is going to be like what Mass Effect 3 felt from 2 than what 2 felt from 1. You know what I mean? Like the change in evolution when you play Mass Effect 1 and then you go to 2 is like night and day. Like just the overhaul of how the game changed as like an entity. But then when you look at from 2 to 3, it feels more like a refinement of like the mechanics and the gameplay and stuff. So like I think that's really what like Ragnarok's going to be more like a Mass Effect 2 to Mass Effect 3 than I feel like it's going to be like a 1 to 2. Nothing's wrong with that, but yeah, I just don't. My main argument, if I was ever going to argue about why I don't think it's going to get Game of the Year, or why I don't think necessarily it would deserve it, is because from the get-go, we knew that like God of War was inspired by Dark Souls. Like Cory Barlog was on record, and their like combat guys were on record of saying like Dark Souls was a big inspiration for why God of War changed, and like why Kratos lost a jump, which is hilarious because Dark Souls evolved and got a jump and added a jump to their formula, and it made the game better. And then God of War did the opposite, and they got rid of their jump that Kratos used to have. So I think it's gonna be kind of funny if they add a jump back to Kratos. But jokes aside, I think that when you're basically like the OG that inspired you basically comes out with its newest iteration, and everyone essentially all agrees that this has essentially shifted the like mentality behind open world games like forever from this point forward. It's kind of hard to think that like God of War Ragnarok is going to be able to step out of that like that familiarity. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be like some crazy. They got
to do some completely surprise shit. Some like complete.
I mean, and it's possible because I mean, if you remember in the 2018, I mean, if you haven't played it, oh well, spoilers. Like towards the end, when they were walking in that room, they did confirm that like Egyptian gods were in that universe as well. Like pretty much any god they can fuck with any god they want with, pretty much. It seems like so. It's something crazy could happen to where, I don't know, fucking Moon Knight pulls up or some shit. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm happy to play the game. Like I wouldn't say like I'm like jumping off the wall excited about it, but like I'm looking forward to playing the game. I really would be very surprised if it ended up coming out and it was like bad. Like I just don't think that's
it's gonna
possible.
be a good game. It's an unfortunate reality that like any game that came out in the year of Elden Ring like you just weren't gonna win Game of the Year. I don't think.
Yeah,
like, it's just if this was next year or the year before, God of War Ragnarok probably would.
And you want me to tell you why too? I think Horizon has part to do with this because I feel like Horizon played it very safe. I think God of War is going to play it extremely safe as well. I just don't. I think unless they had delayed the game, I don't think anyone expected Elden Ring to be as good as it ended up being. That anyone felt that they needed to make a game that was going to shift.
I'm still confident in saying that Ragnarok can still get it. If it doesn't get Game of the Year, it'll still be a strong second.
It'll still be
the problem with Horizon Forbidden West is it wasn't just they played it safe with the gameplay. Did you play the game, Ethos?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you play it, JG?
I played a little bit, then I stopped playing because of Elden Ring.
So the problem, and this is what I'll give to God of War and what I loved about 2018. There was a lot of character development with Kratos being a father. There was absolutely zero character development with Aloy, in Forbidden West. She's literally just kind of like this lifeless person, like, I gotta save the world. Like, there's no nuance to her character. So like they played it safe on the gameplay, but then they didn't develop the character. So then it kind of feels like you're just going through the motions of this another open world game where you can do a lot of cool shit, but I didn't really care about the characters that much. So it's like I wouldn't compare God of War to Forbidden West because Kratos has far more character than
and here's
Aloy.
the other thing. And here's the other thing. I feel like when you do Game of the Year, and this is the same thing. I made the same argument about 2016 because I remember this is a similar. I feel like this is deja vu of like what happened in 2016 when Overwatch and Uncharted were going up, and Uncharted got beat by Overwatch for Game of the Year. And a lot of people called bullshit on it, but the thing I said was it makes sense about why Overwatch did it because it shifted the gaming culture. Not only did that game go extremely mainstream, like a lot of people who weren't really heavy into gaming knew about it, but like it had a presence about it. But when Uncharted came out, it was just like obviously like Uncharted fans or like hardcore PlayStation people were excited for it, but it wasn't like the general.
We've been over this, Ethos. We have a theory. A lot of Uncharted fans don't play a lot of different games. So they think Uncharted's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But the reality is, how you feel, regardless of where Overwatch is right now today, when it came out in 2016,
it was fire.
It was fire. It changed the game and innovative. It spawned a whole Overwatch league
of hero.
And what did Uncharted spawn? A shitty movie with Spider-Man. Come on now, guys.
Hey, people said the movie wasn't that bad. The movie made a lot of money. It wasn't that bad.
I didn't see that
but you sound like you didn't see it. You talk about what other people.
I know.
Exactly. Nobody wants to see that shit.
I don't like the games. Why would I want to
see the movie? No, that makes sense. But going back to God of War, I would tend to agree with Ethos because I don't know if you all remember, but there were still areas that you could not even access in 2018 God of War. We were sitting there looking at, I forgot what that place was called, but yeah, we're going to the different worlds and stuff. Yeah, and there were still places that you couldn't access, and I was like, well, are there going to be some DLC? Like, what's going on here? And, you know, all of a sudden, you know, you see at the very end, you see, you know, Thor show up, you know, and everybody's like, okay, well, we're waiting on the next one, I thought it was going to be DLC the whole time. And then we turn around, it was like, okay, well, Ragnarok's coming out. So I think that Ragnarok just is really going to be a continuation of 2018. And I really don't see anything innovative that's going to really blow my mind. Technically, I don't see anything story-wise that's going to blow my mind. And this is just going off the trailers because, you know, we're all just speculating at this point. But it just doesn't seem like that's going to be the route, that they're going to up the ante once again with Ragnarok like they did with God of War 2018. Because God of War 2018, even though, you know, some people didn't like it, you mentioned, you know, certain things like jumping and stuff, like God of War ended up being more like, you know, a Dark Souls type of thing, especially on the harder difficulty. Like, that game was very difficult, and it did change the way that you played the game compared to, you know, just I'm just gonna mash square and triangle and just do, and then the QTEs, because, you know, that was really one of the main complaints. Like, people love God of War, but QTEs were ridiculous, right? So I don't think that we're going to see anything that's going to be freaking amazing, like with these boss battles, for example. You know, people just making, you know, crazy speculative claims.
Say what happened. Go ahead.
So Ethos.
I'm cursed. Tell him I'm cursed by so many people.
Ethos. I don't know what's up with you and Sony fanboys, but this is freaking hilarious. So somebody on Twitter ended up stirring up some controversy because he said that the Thor battle is going to be one of the best boss battles just ever.
It's going to set the standard
for boss battles going forward. And it was like, bro, the game is not out yet. I understand that you are excited. I get it. People are excited about things. People make Twitters and, just saying, oh, I'm an ultimate fanboy for whatever franchise.
I'm so mad I missed this conversation.
Oh my God. I almost missed it too. I had to go back and look at it.
I stay off Twitter now, dog. I can't do it.
So I didn't see the I didn't see the continuation of it, but I seen the original tweet that Ethos replied to. He was like, you gotta stop saying stupid shit like this. And but I totally agree with Ethos. Like, you cannot just make a baseless claim like that just because you're looking at a trailer or just because you're looking at some artwork that the boss battle between Kratos and Thor is going to set the standard. That is a bold statement. Like, you can't.
I think it's funny.
Shit like that.
I think it's funny that like statements like that are accessible, because back in 2013, 14, when we first started the podcast, and we would say things like, "Hey guys, PC gaming is cool because there's improved frame rates, visuals, the games are cheaper on Steam. We don't got to pay for online. You can upgrade your system." Look at go back and look at those podcasts if you guys are new to listening to this. The entire comment section, you guys are fucking assholes. You don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid. But then you can go on Twitter and make a statement about a game that you haven't even played and say, this is going to be a definitive boss fight. It's an emotional argument versus a more logical one. And I find it funny that the emotional arguments are acceptable. Like, that's really weird.
Like, we're actually talking from our experience versus again, just speculating that this is going to set a standard. So anyway, progressing the story. So Ethos said that, and the guy, clapped back, called him an X-bot.
He saw my screen. He saw me. I had a conversation with JG in the reply where basically I said, these are the same people that. Do you remember when Horizon came out and that tweet where the guy took the video clip of the Horizon boss fight with the snake and said, "This is next gen boss fight right here," and everybody like clowned him for it and was like, "What are you talking about? This is the most like basic boss fight. It's just pretty and it looks beautiful and that's why you think it is, but it's not." From a substance standpoint, the gameplay is just very basic. You're just moving, dodging left and right, and just throwing a thing at the snake, like at a spot on the snake, like that. I was basically arguing, saying like, these are this is the same type of thing. It's just people who haven't really played a bunch of games just making these crazy like statements on Twitter.com and people just letting them get that shit off, bro. It's insane.
Yeah. So he, I saw his minions, in there like, yeah, you get that Xbox, you get him. It's like he's just mad because he doesn't have any games to play. Like, little do they know. Like,
I'm the fucking Thanos.
It's so stupid. Like, the people who just like, he was just instantly, he was like, oh yeah, you're an Xbox, just because he said that. Like, you can't say shit like that. It doesn't matter what game that it was. Like, for you to just make a claim like that and you have literally no evidence to back this other than I'm excited for the game and just trust me, bro. Like, that's not going to work. And yeah, like, you can't get mad when people call you out on your bullshit, but of course, all the other fans who agreed with him, just because they love the game or they're Sony fans, they all agreed. And they're like, yeah, you get them. Yeah, Xbox, they just mad because they don't have any games to play. Like, that's stupid, bro. Like, it was just mad weird. And then on top of that, Ethos got blocked and then unblocked and then blocked again. So that was.
That's the crazy. Then he tried to lie and say he muted me in his reply, just to make it seem like, oh, I'm just muting this thread. No, you're blocking me. You're not muting this. You just don't want to hear a conversation at all or a response to this. Like,
yeah, got
upset. That's the worst. I'd get it if we go back and forth and you're just like, whatever, bro. Like, I get it, but like, to just like write like 3 damn replies to me and then block me before I can even read them, like, it's just like, yeah, it's kind of insane. Just so like the timeline can see it, it's like wild. I can't respond.
Yeah, so I think that once again, people need to temper their expectations. Again, I understand if there are certain games that you've been waiting for years, and you finally get the announcement, you finally get the trailer, you're like, oh my god, this game is going to be so great. Like, just enjoy the game. You don't have to make statements like this because, and once again, like, if you end up being wrong about it, then you're gonna have to deal with the people coming at you like, oh yeah, you fucking idiot, you saying all this shit. Like, why do you want to even deal with that? And then what you're gonna do, you're not gonna apologize because I already know this is the way
double down,
triple down. Not gonna apologize. Yeah, you're gonna double down, you're gonna triple down on it, and then you're just gonna start more arguments. So like, this is a crazy cycle. Like, people just need to chill out and stop saying stuff like that, because people will take it serious, and then people will screenshot it. You can delete it all you want, try to hide it, but people gonna screenshot it and gonna come right back at you. And then you're gonna just do some more arguing in the mentions or whatever platform that you're on, just because you said something like that. So just temper your expectations, and we'll see when it comes out. But I'm excited to play it. But again, I'm tempering my excitement, and we'll see when the game comes out whether it's dope or not.
Sometimes I wish I was that passionate about things, and then I realize those type of people are usually miserable, so I get over it.
What are you talking about? Aren't you the G4 professor?
That's a character.
Oh, now you're a persona.
That's acting. That's acting. Okay, I found out from working.
You're acting now.
Yeah, I found out from working with G4. Apparently, I am a method actor, because like when I get into that character, it like surprises people. Like I have to hype myself up because I'm so like laid back.
You're Leto. Okay,
yeah, like I'll read the lines over. So I was like, yeah, just let me do it for like Timmy. Like he's like, you're a method actor, right? And I was like, is that what that shit is? I was like, I guess.
The Jared Leto of gaming.
Listen, bro, I got characters and shit in my head. Like I'm out here proving I can actually write. My pen game is nice. I have an actual content.
You said you have characters in your head? Do they talk to you?
Split personality.
Yeah, I can't afford therapy, so get over it.
You know what they say? It's okay to talk to yourself, but if you start responding to yourself, then you might want to check yourself in. You might want to check.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That last guy that was talking to himself not only did he get a movie, but he's getting a sequel, and apparently it's going to be a sequel. I mean, a sequel. I just fucked that joke up. I was gonna say a musical.
Yeah, you definitely.
I went to bed late last night. Okay. I was busy. Anyways, musical. Fucking Forspoken got delayed. They released a statement. Didn't it already get delayed?
I swear we talked about this. So I was like, so I guess it's just. I don't even know.
I think it got delayed till later this year.
It was supposed to come out earlier this year, and then it got delayed into Q4, and now it got delayed again.
Okay. So yeah,
delayed next year, but all right.
The official Forspoken account released a statement on Twitter saying, as a result of ongoing discussions with key partners, we have made the strategic decision to move the launch date of Forspoken to January 24th, 2023. All game elements are now complete, and development is in its final polishing phase. We'd like to thank you for being patient. So they said the game's done. They just want to optimize it, I guess, which, if that's true, the game is actually done. I'm not mad at this, and they just want to spend time optimizing it. I'm not mad at this.
Go for it.
A late game that's polished is better than a broken game that releases quote unquote on time. That's when Miyamoto said something along those lines. Our first ever esports update. I don't know shit about esports, but the Apex World Championships is going on. Some crazy announcements happened. First, Shroud announced that he's coming back to professional esports. I guess he got tired of doing the whole content creator thing, and he's joining the Sentinels. I don't really care about that, because what really mattered is I think Shroud's return to esports inspired some guy known as LeBron James. He joined C9. We don't know what in capacity. I've been looking around. I cannot find anything. They just put this tweet out to the point where I thought they were fucking trolling. But could y'all find any information on what this means?
I literally Googled this. I have no idea. This must be a joke. It has to be a prank.
If it is, like, they should state that it is, because it's been up for like 24 hours and they haven't said anything. So I thought maybe he joined ownership or something.
I'm telling you, like, it has to be like the situation with Steph Curry and TSM. Like, it has to be an investment type of thing. Like, I would highly doubt that LeBron James would join as talents or competitively in any form of fashion, unless he's just trying to like battle his son or something, Bronny, with Faze. That would be the only reason. Like, he was like, hey yo, like, I see you over there with Faze. Let me go ahead and join C9 so we can just butch y'all ass real quick or something. I don't know, but it has to be an investment.
Speaking
of,
like,
why does this make sense in any form of fashion? LeBron James, one of the biggest NBA stars in the entire world, joins on as talent. What is he gonna do that he can't do himself? I
don't know. Maybe he's good at Warzone and we didn't know, or something. I don't know. What I do know is it's getting a little sticky in the James house, because not only are LeBron James and Bronny at war because they're on opposite esports teams, but I would imagine Bronny James is feeling a little bit weird right now, because the team that he's a part of, the Faze Clan, they just dropped another massive N-bomb on stream, guys. And the esports world was set on fire. They kicked him out of the group. I think his name was like Scented or something. Never heard of him. I guess he's on the esports. He's not one of the personalities. He's on one of the teams, but he's got a big following. Apparently his friend was streaming, and then Scented came into the stream, into the Discord, and then he just said, "What up, N-word?" with the hard R. And my favorite part about this clip is the friend responds, "Hey dude, I'm live." Not, "Hey, you shouldn't say that."
Like, whoa, what the hell? Yeah, no.
So
that's always what the response is.
Yeah.
So as our residential social justice warrior, how you feeling? How you feeling about this, JG? Another massive N-bomb dropped by the Faze Clan. What is this, like the 6th one?
Bro, I'm telling you. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I'm telling you, the Faze Clan, in order to get into the Faze Clan, they gotta ask, like, do you say racial epithets in private and in public? And if you respond yes, then you get to be a part of Faze. Like, I can't believe that, like, this is consistently happening. Like, is there any sort of like sensitivity training, like anything? Because I heard that one person actually did get sensitivity training. He didn't get kicked off of Faze. I forgot what they said the dude's name was, but apparently somebody else got sensitivity training. But this guy apparently mutually left Faze, but Faze had to make a whole statement about it. It's like, how many times are you going to be the subject of this? And somebody's making an argument once again, and I really hate it. Like, it was like, okay, well, if you all say, if black people stop saying the N-word, you know, then white people won't say it. It's like, for the last time, we do not walk around just saying N-I-G-G-E-R. Please, you said the N-I-G-G-E-R. You did not say N-I-G-G-A. You said N-I-G-G-E-R. We don't walk around saying that. It's not rap music. We're not saying that word. We're saying N-I-G-G-A. So please stop saying that. Oh, if we stop saying it, you're gonna stop saying it, because it's just not how that works. It's 2022. But I will say, for this person, the one thing that I give this person respect for, and it's very hard for me to give respect to somebody who's being racist, in the apology, he actually said, "Hey, I know what happened. I know what this word does. I know everything that happened. I had all the research available to me, and I still made a dumb decision." When is the last time you seen anybody apologize for being racist and they said, "Oh man, I know what was going on, but yet I still did it because I'm a dummy"? So
funny enough, that's the best way to approach it. Just be honest about the shit, because in a few months, this shit will blow over. He'll be fine. He won't be part of Faze, but he'll still have his following on Twitch.
Yeah, because literally, what does everybody else say? Hey, I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to say it. You know, this is something that my friends say around me, and I need education. Somebody please educate me as to why I can't say these things. That's usually what the response is. But this person actually, you know, came and's like, "Yo, I messed up, and it is what it is. I decided to mutually leave Faze, and we'll see what's going on." But they were like, "This is my responsibility, my responsibility only." So, like I said, I give respect for that part. Like, out of all the apologies that were ever given that we've seen in the past, like, ever, really, this was probably like the most genuine. I was like, all right, well, you said it. You know what you did. You clearly say it in public, and you clearly say it in private, and it leaked out in public because the person was streaming.
It's no point in tearing them down and being extra about the shit.
Yeah, pretty much. So it is what it is. But Faze, y'all really gotta, I don't know what's going on over there, but Faze has been fucking up. Like, how many times have we had news about them? And it's only them too. Like, no other organization really gets in these situations. It's always Faze.
I think it's especially weird because not only is Bronny on the team, but one of their biggest members of Faze is Swag, and he's black. He signed to Rich Paul, and it's like, is one of your leaders on the team. You probably should think about saying that type of stuff, bro. You know you're gonna be around this person, and what he says, I'm pretty sure, dictates more than what that kid was saying, as well as some of these, like the people who are like on the esports side of the organizations don't realize that, like, yo, you're disposable. Like, there's always another kid that wants to come up and improve. There's always a new talented kid that's younger than you that wants to play the game, versus there's not going to be a lot of Faze swag. Like, it's harder to find like a personality that people gravitate towards versus a high level player, because you need social skills to be an actual content creator. So it's funny that he didn't think of that. But then also another thing I think that's interesting about this stuff too is it's if you notice, it's like the younger generations that's getting caught up in this stuff. Like, I can make the, like, it's not like an excuse, but I can make the argument. It's like, you know, we grew up in a different era where people spoke and differently. Like, we went through some actual real shit, so it's halfway understandable. And as you get older, you start to realize, some of that stuff I said when I was younger, that shit wasn't cool. Like, I've grown out of that. But it's like, yo, it's like these Gen Z kids. It's like, I thought Gen Z was supposed to be like super progressive and shit. So it's like, do you know what you're saying? Like, you just trying to be edgelord? I don't get it. I feel like there's enough data to suggest you probably shouldn't say that as a content creator, and as a younger person, you would think they'd know that.
Yeah, that's what this person said too. But I don't think that that's the sentiment with the majority of Gen Z, like who does, constantly get in these situations. I don't know what's going on. I guess I'll end up figuring out as my daughter gets older and progresses through life, like just seeing it firsthand, like what they're going through, what they're talking about, for me to like give a real opinion, because I don't really know much about Gen Z from the ground standpoint. I only go off of what's on social media. But I would be thinking the same thing, right? Like, when is it going to get to a point where like these situations just stop happening, or that like everyone just really has the education available to them to know that like, yo, I fucked up, like I shouldn't be saying these things, out of all the words that people try to get canceled nowadays, and all the things that people are sensitive about, like why are racist words and things like this like still a thing that we just can't get away from? Like it's definitely weird for me. But I mean, apparently it's still being taught in household. That's really that's the first point that a child goes through. It's really starting at the home. So we still got some crazy boomers and probably some millennials too that are still running with this racist narrative, and they're just passing it down. But and Gen Z people are apparently they're still taking what their parents are teaching them as law, and not learning from the outside world as well. They're like, hey, like I shouldn't be saying anything, or I shouldn't be living my life like this. So it is what it is. Did
y'all see that Photoshop picture of the Faze Clan with the Ku Klux Klan, sheet with the Faze Clan symbol? That shit was funny. They said this is the new merch drop about to be fired. I said, oh my god,
that was great. Bro. And sorry for the people who are probably like, who you're talking about? Who they're talking about? His name is Scented, and I think he's like 19. So he's a young guy, and he was coming up in the Fortnite world and got caught up in this situation. So it is what it is. But he'll bounce back. He's already verified on Twitter and stuff, and he's just gonna be out of phase. But I mean, he still has his Fortnite skills, so we'll see what happens with him.
It's crazy, man. We got over 100 different M-bombs dropped, freaking crypto scams, people treating people like shit. Faze is still doing great. That's crazy. It's almost like my theory is right. You cannot defeat the white man unless you get accused of pedophilia or you kick dogs, and neither has happened yet. It's proving my theory right.
Yeah, it's crazy because like literally last time, like after this happened, they got a McDonald's deal. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Surprise!
Like, right? Yeah, it was like, bro, it's none of this stuff has affected their bags. It's really amazing.
Well, shout out to them. I'm pretty sure they'll be back in the news in a few months. It's like 36 months. Shit, we're like 30 minutes into the show. We haven't even started the conversations. I was worried we didn't have shit to talk about. Going into the lead conversations, Ubisoft recently had an event where they finally showed off Skull and Bones. If you guys are unaware, Skull and Bones is a game designed by Ubisoft that's been in development hell since around the release of, it was like right after the release of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. They revealed this, and it honestly looked like that game was running on that engine. It's a pirate game where you explore the world, you loot, you fight other people, you can customize your pirate and stuff. But it's been in development hell for several years, delay after delay after delay. They finally had an event where they showed it off, how you can customize your boats, the different cannons and fire that you can put on it, the way you can customize your character. What was new that they haven't shown in the past versions of the game, because the game has completely changed since they first revealed it, was you can actually stop your boat in certain areas and walk around. There's like hub worlds where you can interact with other pirates and shit like that. So it's almost like a pirate MMO type beat, or like maybe not a full-blown MMO, maybe like Destiny. The overall consensus when I was watching it on YouTube is people were like, this shit looks like ass. In my opinion, the frame rate was looking real bad. The gameplay wasn't really intriguing to me. To be fair, I've never really wanted to be a pirate. I don't like Black Flag like that. I know that's a lot of people's favorite, so like if you like it, you might like this game. But from a mechanical standpoint, to me, it looked kind of dusty. What about you, Ethos? I'm glad you asked, man. I've always wanted to sing sea shanties with JG, and that's why I'm going to toss it to JG. What did you think?
I don't know where this is going, but I guess I'll say when the first positive is at least the game isn't dead, because we haven't heard about it since forever. So maybe there'll be hope.
It's gonna be dead. You want to know why?
Why?
I don't know if you know. I forgot to say this in the intro. So Skull and Bones will release the day before God of War Ragnarok.
You fucking lie. Oh my god.
Go look up the release date. when they revealed that during the actual like gameplay reveal, the whole chat went crazy. DOA, DOA, DOA.
Oh my god, why did they do that? They need to move that date. Please move it. You know, do like artists do when they find out that like Beyonce or Drake is dropping. Just move your date, please.
I actually believed Horizon Forbidden West could compete with Elden Ring, and that's before Elden Ring came out and we learned about what it was. I didn't really fully believe in it. So like I was surprised Elden Ring buried the game like that. And that was Horizon Forbidden West. I'm sorry, Skull and Bones is not Forbidden West. It cannot compete with Ragnarok. They're gonna have to move that release date. It's one of those things. It's like they were sitting in the boardroom. It's like who made this decision? And if it was made before they showed the God of War Ragnarok release date, I know you saw it on Twitter. You guys, I would say either push it up a week or push it back, or push it up a month actually, if they can. Just avoid that game altogether so that you can get as much kind of a press surrounded around you, especially because there's not a lot of game releases. They could use that to their advantage.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So they're gonna have to figure it out. There's no way that they would have made that date after God of War got announced. So they definitely did it before. And yeah, they saw it, so they need to make a decision. They need to make an executive decision to change that. So yeah, I mean, at least it's not, DOA, but yeah, it might be DOA. I don't think too many people are going to play this. But looking at the gameplay and stuff, I mean, it's just something that I'm not interested in. Like, this just looks like a more realistic looking Sea of Thieves, like just with a lot more customization options. And I mean, I was looking at the way that they were running around in the hub world. I was like, that those are definitely like Assassin's Creed elements, like the way that they were running. I was like, okay, like you're using the same animations, and I mean, it's nothing wrong with that, but Ubisoft is infamous for reusing assets and a lot of times to their detriment as well. I.e. that Far Cry Primal game, we all know how that was, reusing assets for the map and stuff. So I mean, I just hope that doesn't come back to bite them in the ass. And I seen that they turned the comments off on the YouTube video, so they must have been downvoting this game to hell and just making all terrible comments about that. Either making comments about the game or, like you said, about the God of War Ragnarok and saying it's gonna be DOA. So that's interesting. Like that's I wouldn't just use that as a light point as far as like the overall sentiment about this game. So I mean, I hope that it does arrive. I don't wish bad upon any game, especially for a game that got announced shortly after Black Flag came out, because they saw the people like the actual ship battle gameplay, and then we just heard nothing about it, and then all of a sudden now we finally get a reveal and we're actually showing gameplay. So people at least took the time to try to continue this game. So I hope that it does do well. Maybe the Sea of Thieves people, and again the people that like Black Flag, will come back and actually support it. But oh man, that date though, that does suck. Like I don't like that at all. And I think that a lot of people like who are actually interested in this, like they're not even going to play it. And I hate to say that, I don't think they're going to play it.
I think they really missed an opportunity during the game for the gameplay to help it stand out, because I agree with you. It literally looks like Sea of Thieves, but more realistic. And my thing, at least with Sea of Thieves, I'll give it has that cartoony kind of charm that Rare does. So like it has that element that I think will intrigue people, but like because this is like more realistic, it lacks that charm. I don't really want to play it. They missed an opportunity with the gameplay. There was a moment where like you can initiate like hopping on other people's ships, or like there's bases riddled all throughout the map. But the difference is like they took out that element from Assassin's Creed Black Flag where you could hop off the boat with no loading screen and then actually go on the island or the base, and then you could invade the base and loot and shit like that. They really missed an opportunity to keep that in the game but make it co-op. Like imagine your friend is like a pirate group that has a base, and you pull up in your boat and you and your friends run up there and you have to fight together in real time to try to loot that would actually be pretty cool. And it could be like, and running off the same engine, it could be this kind of similar combat as Assassin's Creed. And even in like when you loot other boats, like they pulled up on a boat, they beat it up, and then it was stuck there, and then you have to press a button to actually like loot them, and then it plays a cutscene. And I'm like, bro, you really missed an opportunity to have ship battles between multiple players, 5 of your friends versus 5 of my friends. That would have me interested more with the Assassin's Creed type of combat. but this shit looked dry. I'm like, I think, and then they were really happy too because they announced that all DLC in the future will like be free. There's like free content coming. I'm like, you guys just need to worry about the game getting out. Like,
well, I mean, that's cool, I guess. like I see. I mean, shout out to Ubisoft. Like, that's my boy from Ubisoft. I see he was on here.
He's trying
leading the conversation. Yeah, Ubisoft is trying, but oh boy, this gonna be tough though. Like, just because of that date, like that really gets me.
Ethos is back. How you feel about Skull and Bones?
I just find it funny that literally Ubisoft got slandered for that comment about UI and UX about Elden Ring, and then literally the fucking meme that people made the meme of, this is what a Ubisoft game looks like. It literally looks like that UI in this game.
I forgot. The UI did look bad.
On the screen, bro.
It did look bad. Yeah. It's too much stuff on the screen. The hit markers, I was laughing at the hit markers because it looked like some like free-to-play Chinese first-person shooter, like those little cheap-ass red hit markers. I'm just like, this game just looks like you guys should have scrapped it. It doesn't look like a labor of love. And unfortunately, they're gonna take a big L, I think, on this one. Like, especially if they keep that release date. Did you know that, Ethos, that it's releasing the day before God of War Ragnarok?
And I laughed at that too. They're insane. They are absolutely insane. I know the markets don't collide with each other, like it's different markets, but like, Jesus, like, come on, man, that was not smart.
I would argue markets always collide because people have limited money. But I get what you're saying too.
Different demographics are going to be like in God of War. But
I was saying too when I was streaming, I was like, I'm just saying, don't be surprised. Like, I'm not telling you how I know, but don't be surprised if you see a lot of content creators really pushing this game and acting like they love it. Like, I'll believe it at that, bro.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh shit. So I don't know. I was like, I said, I was like, if you see me playing this shit, just know. Ain't no shame in my game. That's the difference, though. It's an hour of my time. I don't mind. But yeah, Skull and Bones, I don't think any of us are playing it. I don't think any of us really wanted to be dirty. Like, you know, it's crazy. Me personally, I never met a black person that wanted to be a pirate.
I'm just saying, I haven't either.
At least a black American. I know that's like a thing in like fucking, what was this, Somalia or some shit? But
oh my god, bro,
I'm talking about black Americans. But anyways. You have the Quarry. It came out. You guys played it. You guys said you were waiting for the co-op. I tried to talk about this game with them like weeks ago, but they were like, we don't want to play it during the launch because the co-op doesn't come out till July. Well, the co-op dropped. These two have been playing it. The Quarry co-op, spooky horror game, story driven. How you guys feeling about it? I have not played it, so you two can take it away. First of all, share your thoughts on the Quarry and then the co-op.
Oh yeah, Ethos, tell them about. No, actually, let's do it the opposite. Tell them about the co-op not working first.
Let me tell you, bro. So we waited a goddamn month. A fucking waste of a month. We could have played this day one, waiting for this multiplayer because we wanted to all like online connect to each other, buy the game, and then all of us connect to the game together, and we all each of us play a character, and we all like enjoyed the story together. Come to find out, game comes out with this multiplayer yesterday, a couple days ago, and they had the audacity to wait a month to drop this thing. And you don't control a character. You pay essentially $60 to join a friend's game to vote on choices. You don't control the characters. You let one person control all the characters, and you guys just vote on the choices. That's it. We said, no, you've lost your mind. You have actually, like, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, this is, what did you say, JJ? This is like Turtles bad? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Activision bad?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bad,
yeah. It was terrible. So we had to use a third-party basically like streaming system called Parsec to have one person play the game or host the game on their computer, and then us remoting into his PC with low latency like streaming, and then take control of the PC as if we're all there on his computer at the exact same time. So there's like 7 people who are technically connected to my PC all at the same time, playing the Quarry all at the same time. It was a pain in the ass, and they should be ashamed for it. And honestly, I feel like it was a scam because they never told us this before, unless I must have missed the memo. But I don't recall once them ever in the marketing saying that was what the multiplayer was going to end up being.
Did you like the game at least?
Oh yeah, the game was fun.
Oh, the game is fucking gas.
Oh,
yeah, we were going in. Like
we were laughing, bro.
Just influencing everybody's
Chaos
choices.
ran
Like,
away. Chaos
Yeah,
fell out
no,
of the seat and walked away from the screen.
yeah, Chaos got scared.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time.
Chaos got
We're not
scared.
done.
No,
We're like halfway through it.
Yeah, no, the actual story though, like the story is really, really good. I really like how in these type of games, like the choices that you make like actually matter. And I hate that we gotta keep saying it, but like, you know, there are a lot of games that like the path that you choose don't really have a significance, or like it'll be a major choice like at the very end of the game versus like, you know, a different branching story paths as you're playing through it. So I do like that. I actually liked the story, like when we were trying to, you know, decipher and try to figure out what was going on at the camp and stuff, and we were, you know, making our own speculations, and then coming back and finding out later, like, oh well, you know, that really didn't happen, and this happened. Like it was really dope. Like the story is really good, and I like that, you know, we were actually able to figure it out and, you know, able to control our own characters going through this third party system. But it was fun playing. I definitely. Dang, I can't even recommend it. But, I mean, if you're playing by yourself, then yeah, cool. But I mean, but the ultimate experience is just playing with other people, and I guess that's why, because I remember when the game first came out, like I saw at least like two big content creator groups. They were all there together playing it. And now I see why they had to do that, like other than just wanting to play it day one. You know, waiting on this, you know, so-called multiplayer. They're all playing it together in the same house, and it was like I get that experience. Like the couch experience, you know, still is unrivaled. But we're in 2022, and COVID is still out there. Like you have to as a company, like stop focusing on that couch experience, because that's just not a reality for everybody. You have to be able to give people the option for just doing regular multiplayer co-op, like spend a little bread, get the servers right, and just let people play the game, you know, from the comfort of their own homes.
Yeah, I saw y'all crying on Twitter about Parsec, and I just laughed. I was like, yeah, I'm not interested in playing this game anymore. I might wait till like a Steam sale or something to get it, because I also heard that like it has. Were y'all having performance issues?
No.
And I was streaming that shit to 8 people, and yeah, I didn't have any issues.
No, we're good.
Nah, I wonder if the person who told me that has a shitty computer then, because I was told that the PC version has performance issues.
Yeah, no issues.
I mean, it may have been just a
granted, they've patched it. Yeah, they've patched the game since it came out. So there's been a couple
well, yeah, possibly. It may have been an issue. Yeah, but no, we were good though. Yeah.
Yeah, I might wait for a sell on this one.
Eric did the very new. Shout out to Justice Smith, the aka Ethos.
Yeah, shout out to Justice Smith, bro.
Yeah, no, Justice Smith. And if you don't know who it is, he played in the Pokemon movie. Pikachu, yeah, and the Get Down, and he's been in some things. So yeah, they use a lot of use all real models.
Song.
David Arquette was on here. Yeah, Brenda Song was on here. Yeah, so it was cool. Like it had a nice cast of characters. It was dope.
Is Brenda Song? Is that Wendy Wu?
Who?
The Homecoming Warrior? Oh, let me. Brenda Song.
Brenda Song from.
Yeah, that is. That's Wendy Wu. Yeah, that's Wendy Wu from Disney, bro. Yeah, that's how I know it. Wendy Wu.
I only know Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. She dating Macaulay Culkin. I didn't know that. Okay.
Macaulay Culkin is
all right.
An eternal child. He's the real life Peter Pan.
He's screwed forever.
Yep. Yeah. I didn't play the Quarry. I did get to play Sonic Origins. Don't buy it. It sucks. Anyways, Sonic takes another L. How do you fuck up a 30-year-old game, Sega? Anyways, Game Pass increasing sales. I caught this tweet. It was very interesting. Just pushing the Game Pass propaganda.
Let me go get my robes.
Football Manager 2022 sold 1 million copies. Director Miles Jacobson's confirmed sales milestone and thanking everyone, including Xbox Game Pass subscribers. So basically what he was saying is like, because you know the games they cycled through the shit, and he was like, just the promotion of the Game Pass helped increase the sales, and that was the argument that we were giving, that like we don't have actual numbers on what's helping, what's not, because somebody might play something on Game Pass and they enjoy it, but then it cycles off of the Game Pass and they no longer have access to it. So who's to say that they don't enjoy it so much that they buy it, even if it's like on sale? And he was basically saying that they pushed over 1 million copies in combination with Game Pass, which is crazy because That's another thing. Football Manager 2022 sold 1 million copies. Have y'all ever played Football Manager?
No, never.
That's a good milestone, by the way. Like, most games do not sell 1 million copies, especially a game like this, bro. What do you have to say about this Game Pass, Bishop?
Oh, more evidence that the Game Pass is a great value not only for consumers but also to the developers, and that anybody who tries pushing that stupid narrative out there, I'm not gonna say the grouping of people that like saying that bullshit, but the people that apparently have it out for me, that believe that it devalues games or it hurts game developers, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about once again.
That's crazy. Did y'all get a chance to check out those new tiers of did we talk about that, the PlayStation Plus tiers?
Yeah, we talked about how trash and mid it was. Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah. That's crazy. I mean, if you like old games, you'll like it, but it's just don't got nothing new on there.
JG did a whole video on gaming Illuminaughty. Check it out.
I sure did.
Sheesh. Shout out to the Game Pass. I'm curious to see if more data will come out about this, talking about other games. But only time will tell. I just thought that was interesting, a little tweet that I came across. Moving on to the news side of things. F-Zero fanboy takes an L. So for those of you unaware, this is a pretty interesting story. It's been reported that a fan of F-Zero bought $40,000 worth of stock from Nintendo, which, how much is Nintendo stock? Last when I bought it, it was like $30 and it went up to $50 and I sold it. Let's see. It's going for $53 a pop. Sheesh. So he bought $40,000 worth of US stock for Nintendo. And the reason being is he wanted to be a large shareholder in the company so that he could demand a new version of F-Zero. So when he asked, Nintendo responded and they said it's realistically difficult to develop new titles and remakes, including sequels, for every Nintendo game that people request. But we're very grateful and appreciate the expectations our fans have for our games. So basically they said, nah, bruh. A, how you feeling about this, JG, that he spent the $40,000? And then B, how do you feel about that response?
Yeah, man, he got the bread for it. I'm not gonna say, this was a dumb decision, because maybe there can be something else he could do with it, flip it. Maybe some Nintendo stock will go up some more. So I mean, in that aspect, you got the money to do that, so whatever. But the point of just buying enough to be able to get enough stock to become a major or minor shareholder to call about it, that's and as about F-Zero, that's pretty funny. But yeah, the response was even better. Just no, thanks for asking, but no. It's just like, damn, just shit on his whole life. Like, he liked F-Zero, loved it for a while, and was just asking if another F-Zero was coming out. Like, people have been asking about F-Zero. Like, I think this is another piece of evidence to show that Nintendo just is out of touch as to what the true fans actually want. Like, they've just been hyper focused on freaking Pokemon and Mario, and we just you have like a lot of other iconic franchises, and people just want to see you not fully abandon them. So I think another F-Zero, especially in this day and age, would be dope. So just to hear no is pretty crazy. So hopefully that person didn't just cry all night and is still crying to the day while we're doing this podcast. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Nintendo has a serious problem where it's like, yeah, the games they put out is great, but we've been talking about this forever. They keep rehashing the same shit. And not only do they have games in the vault like F-Zero and like Star Fox and stuff where they can pull that out and try to flesh those games out more, but I also think they have a problem where it's like, yo, their legends are getting up there. Like Miyamoto is getting up there. It's like, what are they doing to cultivate new talent and just giving them chances? Like, you have to give people new chances to create the new Marios, the new Donkey Kongs, the new Zeldas. And like, yeah, people want to see a new F-Zero, so like, why not just make it? Like, the internet if they would break the damn internet, it would definitely be trending if they announced a new one. It's getting to a point where people refer to Captain Falcon as the dude from Smash Bros. Like, they don't even know what game he's from. They just think he's pulling up in a car for aesthetics. What about you though, Ethos? Do you care? Like, how you feel about this one?
I don't care. I just want my Metroid Prime.
Sheesh.
Facts.
There's rumors that they're remastering it. I was reading.
Yeah, I heard they're gonna do a whole the collection that was on the Wii or whatever it was. They're gonna port it to the Switch.
I
Can't wait to
mean,
play it on my Steam Deck.
that's cool, I guess, but I still want the new one.
I want my new one, yeah. So I still want the new one. I'll take all of it, but yeah, I definitely want the new one.
Where's the Bayonetta 3? I just thought about that. Wasn't that supposed to come out this year?
I don't know.
No, it's I think it was just when it's ready.
That's crazy.
It's gonna be a minute.
How are we feeling about this new Skate 4 gameplay that was revealed? They showed some pre-alpha gameplay off. Got over 500,000 views on YouTube. Just kind of breaking down what they've been working on, what the game's looking like. Do we like this new approach some game developers are showing, like early gameplay footage?
Yes, I like this. I like this a lot. I like the trailer. I'm not even that huge into Skate. I thought the way it was handled and like the behind the scenes of it and more of the more down to earth, like, hey, like this is where we're at in developing the game, you know, here's so you can kind of set your expectations. This is what we got so far and this is where we're headed next, and you kind of like, you know, you kind of feel like you know what the vision of the game is and how they're building it. So I like this. I was saying this, Flock called me a shill, but I was saying it was a good point to say that I like that EA has been recently doing this with like Dead Space and with this game. Which is, and I hope more developers do this, which is from the beginning, like the moment you announce the game or whatever it is, or whether you're doing a remake or something like that, like do this behind the scene, like do these videos, marketing videos, but just literally let developers just talk about the things they work on. Like gamers love like just seeing this type of stuff. They like watching this and seeing how games are made. So I feel like that helps like break down a lot of those like big like false expectations and just like setting expectations right. But I think on top of that, it makes them appreciate the game a lot more and realize like this shit's not easy. It's not hard. When you realize how complex it is, and you kind of appreciate the game even more.
They could literally do, and they could host it, like let's say it's like EA, whatever games are under the EA umbrella, they literally could do like a one update a month, or if they don't want to do that, every quarter, like every 3 months, drop an update video. And if you have a bunch of games coming out, you know, you're gonna constantly be dropping. Yeah, you're gonna constantly be dropping.
No
content.
marketing.
I think people would like that.
Don't need to show some fucking CGI trailer. Just literally, just let the devs like literally like turn on the shadow play, open up the engine, just like, hey, this is what I've been working on for the past 3 months.
It's not much, but
yeah, it's not much, but hey. Something like that would be cool.
I remember when the first pre-alpha preview came out, people actually didn't like it, but those were the people that didn't understand what they were looking at. Yeah, I felt like in the first one, the developers didn't explain it, or people were just dumb and they didn't freaking read and see like, hey, this is like very, very early footage, like only take this with a grain of salt. Because I remember one of the developers was like responding to people who just didn't understand and were like completely shitting on it. But this one though, when they released this one, and I feel like they definitely explained it better, like what exactly was going on, even put the warning in the front before they actually started showing footage. People had to change their heart. Like I've seen more overwhelmingly positive comments this time versus last time. So maybe, just maybe, gamers are getting smarter. Maybe they're getting enlightened. I get it. Maybe they're finally getting enlightened and understand like, hey, the developers don't have to show this right now, but now they're showing it because they care about the community and they just want to give an update as to what they've been doing, just to show you a preview of what is going on, what is really going on, and some of the technical aspects that they're working on. So I mean, maybe this will be a thing. I know the ethos is also speaking from a developer standpoint, and he has also been previewing things mostly on his IG of what's going on with Samurai Zero, and I think that is cool. Like, people just want to know that you're still working on the game at the end of the day, and those are the dedicated fans. The dedicated fans, they just want to know, they just want updates. But it's the people on the outside that are like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are you showing this stuff? This looks like crap. Like, those are people who you really shouldn't care about. But again, those are negative comments, and we know how things are when people say something negative, then those tend to stand out versus the overwhelmingly positive one. But like I said, maybe gamers are finally having a change of heart. So we'll see if this ends up becoming more of a trend with developers, if they want to do it, of course, to just show some very early footage.
You think it's possible we'll ever see Tony Hawk in a skate game?
Nope.
Nah.
Okay. So basically, you guys are saying you think there will be another Tony Hawk game in the future?
When Microsoft gets control of it.
Yeah, possibly, because I don't know if Activision would. I don't think they care.
Hopefully it's not like 5, because that's one of the worst games I've ever played. Anyways, let's see. Etho's gonna like this one. So it's been reported, this is a rumor, by the way, nothing confirmed, take it with a grain of salt, but it's been rumored that Respawn is working on a new first-person shooter game in the Apex Legends universe, and it looks like it's going to be a single-player game according to the job listing they found online. This new single-player title is a developer's dream playground with the freedom to innovate made possible by the unique universe it inhabits. Our critically acclaimed multi-platform games have always established a fun comes first sensibility, created with the notion that great ideas can come from anyone, which allows creativity to shine and individuals to shape the game in meaningful ways. So a single-player Apex universe. Ethos, I saw a tweet from you. It really just grinded your gears. What about this statement bothered you so much?
What do you think?
I don't know.
What do you think?
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm just your average Xbox. I don't know nothing unless it's about Game Pass.
I feel defeated. I'm just tired of just the slander, the disappointment, the abuse that Respawn has taken upon itself to inflict upon the Titanfall community. I would argue and say they would not be in the position they are in today if it wasn't for the Titanfall community and for Titanfall, and the way that they have just straight up disrespected the legacy of that entire franchise for this inferior clone of it is disturbing at the least. And I'm kind of happy every single day when I see tweets saying Apex is going downhill. It puts a smile on my face. Honestly, I would go full on villain, and I would love to see Apex Legends fall. I hate that game now. Every time I boot that game up, I just get upset because everything is inferior. The movement's inferior. The gunplay is inferior. Everything about that game is worse. Is a worse Titanfall, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired. I'm tired of not saying it, bro. I'm tired of us not telling the truth about this. We just gotta let it known, bro. It's Titanfall. It's the Titanfall universe. Apex is in the Titanfall universe. There is no Apex universe. It's the Titanfall universe. And I'm tired of like Respawn just like acting like it's like a dirty cousin that doesn't like wash his ass and just sweeps it underneath the damn fucking bed. I'm just tired of this. I just want Titanfall 3. I just want Respawn to respect the damn franchise and to just like, if you're gonna give up on your fucking Titanfall 2, damn bro, like just give us Titanfall 3, man, or mix it into Apex or something, man. Don't be doing this bullshit and like try to act like Titanfall doesn't exist anymore. Just stop it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That was the closest I ever got to jumping off a bridge, man. That right there that was a gamer suicide right there. Just reading that shit. I've never been that upset.
If Respawn announced new update coming today, you can now access Titanfall 2 for free from the Apex menu. I guarantee you that would repopulate the servers.
It would, because people would realize it was a better game.
I just thought it was really weird they called it the Apex Legends universe, but at the same time I am kind of intrigued because they do have interesting characters in Apex, and maybe they'll take like some type of spy story with like Lobo where they take one of the characters and kind of flesh out, because they have so many different characters they could play with, or it could be a new one and flesh out the story. It's just like, is it going to be enough meat on the bone to warrant something like this where it's taking away resources from Apex? Because I mean, we already got Apex and Apex Mobile, and then now you're fleshing out this universe and making a single player game, and it's like, what else?
Working on a Star Wars FPS.
Yeah, Respawn is spreading thin. Although I don't know, Apex Mobile is good. It's better than the main version. What you think, Jay?
Man, I'm sorry, Ethos. I feel for you, bro. That is disrespectful though. This is Apex universe,
bro.
Also funny though that like, you know, these rumors or leaks come out. We've been seeing this trend a lot in the past, like I would say like 5 to 10 years, that due to job descriptions, you know, when certain companies are looking for, hey, we're going to get into it because I saw one of the next topic we're going to talk about like the same thing because of a job description. It was like, oh yeah, well this you know, this developer, this publisher is working on a new game because of the job description. So I'm like looking at it, it's like, dang, a new single player title, it's a developer's dream playground, and I'm like, oh, like this is, you know, this is very interesting to see this. But yeah, I mean, I saw their Respawn, like I seen that they were like dabbling into the single player type of thing, and trying to like really flesh the lore of Apex Legends. We know with some of their other events, like the limited time things, you know, just trying to progress the story there. So I mean, this isn't surprising if this ends up being 100% true, that they're working on the single player title. But yeah, they need to figure out the best way to handle this. And I mean, it does suck for all the Titanfall fans. Like, I totally understand. Like, why would you make a single player game based on the Apex Legends universe when you could just very easily just make another Titanfall game? So I don't understand the reasoning there. Besides, Apex Legends just is making money right now. Even though this whole Apex no Apex August thing is becoming a thing now, you know, people are kind of turning on EA and Respawn with this. So we'll see if this ends up being a thing. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm not excited to play it, because if this does end up being a single player experience, and it does end up being a game that comes out, I do want to play it. But yeah, they could just make another Titanfall. I think that's what the people truly want instead of this. So I don't really understand why.
My biggest problem with this is, yeah, it's annoying they called it the Apex universe, but more so, like, I feel like Respawn is kind of limiting themselves. I mean, for those of you unaware, Respawn is made up of the original team that made Infinity Ward. So all the good Call of Duties you guys remember, they made those before, you know, they made a new company. But then you got Titanfall, and then you got Apex, you got Apex Mobile. They've made a lot of quality first-person shooters. I feel like, personally, they don't have anything else to prove in that realm, unless they're gonna make Titanfall 3. But that's beside the point. Like, I want to see more Jedi Fallen Order Survivor from them. I want to see more, like, just, I don't know, different types of games. I want to see what else this company is capable of making versus fleshing out this Apex universe, like another first-person shooter from you guys. Like, unless it's something a really unique first-person shooter that's single player, like something like Doom Eternal. Like, I don't know if I really want this. I would rather see them do more RPGs or action adventure games. Just kind of flesh out their portfolio. I think that's the more disappointing thing about this rumor, because I can't stress enough, this is a rumor. None of this is confirmed, and these are just job listings. Somebody can get hired for a job, doesn't mean the game's gonna come out if they're working on something. So, you know, that's my thoughts on it. But I'm curious to see what other people think. I'm also curious to hear what you guys think about this too. So The Division, Ubisoft has released a couple of these. I'd argued they've kind of failed. They just never had that sticking power to maintain an audience. But Ubisoft is really doubling down on the live service games. So what they decided to do is they've recently announced a new one. It's called The Division Resurgence, and it's coming to mobile. It's going to be available on iOS and Android, probably iOS first, because Android will probably struggle to run it. And Resurgence is basically a spin-off game of the original one. So Resurgence will take place in New York City, like the first game, during the outbreak, but it will provide a new perspective, a new independent storyline. So this is, for those of you guys unaware, this is code for basically we're going to reuse the assets from The Division 1 and just add like a new story. But then, at least that's what I thought when I originally wrote the article. But then I scrolled down, and the article says, like the first two installments, Tom Clancy's The Division allows players to explore open worlds where they can host factions. Wait, that's not the part I was reading. Resurgence is not only the game set in it, but it current last year. What the fuck? It must have been up top. I'll summarize it. So basically, they're attacking the original story from like a different angle. Like, you guys remember Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, where like you had Sonic's story, and then you had the rest of the stories which were the same story, just from like a different angle. That's kind of, they're reusing assets, they're reusing the story just from a unique perspective. I'm tired. On key story elements that were taking place. And it'll be on mobile. So yeah, you guys want to play The Division on mobile? Did you guys look at the trailer?
Oh, no. I saw the trailer. You remember The Division Heartland? I find it funny that it
I forgot about that game. Yeah. The free-to-play joint on PC.
Yeah, Ubisoft pattern. A lot of games just up and disappear.
Yeah.
And no. Come back years later. Y'all remember that other game?
What game?
We talking about that hero shooter?
Project Q or whatever?
No, that other one.
Oh, Tom Clancy's what was
Defiant.
Defiant. Yeah. That shit was ass.
Yeah. Oh man, like I really hate it, bro. Like Ubisoft is they've been striking out a lot lately. We were literally just talking about reusing assets when I talked about Skull and Bones. Oh my god, like this is bad. Like I understand that the mobile market, especially now, like is in the US, it's booming a lot more, but nobody wants to play the Division anymore. Like I'm sorry, you tried twice. And then Heartland, you announced that, and it got universally shit on. And then you delayed that one, which I hope it gets ultimately canceled. Like I just don't understand, like who's running things, who's making the decisions now. Like Ubisoft just needs to come out with something different, or just give us Splinter Cell, like a true Splinter Cell. No tie-ins to other games. Like just give us another Splinter Cell and be done with it. Because like this is just bad. Like I don't want to see Ubisoft just continue to fail like this. Like nobody wants to see this. Nobody asked for it. So just go and make a new IP, like a good one, an actual good one, because you've been striking out with those too. Or just give a Splinter Cell and move on after that. Like just put on your talent and make a freaking Splinter Cell. Like this is just ridiculous.
Players will have the option to play solo or with friends via co-op, just like it's console brethren. I think the biggest problem with this game is like it looks like the Division 1 but ashier. Like did you look at the trailer? Like it looks really ashy. The graphics don't look good because it's mobile. The frame rate's like struggling a little bit, but the problem is this is a really old game and they're just rehashing it. And then if you look at the trailer, there's one moment in it where like they were showing off a base. It's the exact same base from the game. Like I was like, oh, I remember that part, bro. So I'm like, like it's gonna be the same bases too. And then here's another thing too. I don't know if I want to play a looter shooter on my phone. I don't want to play a looter shooter on my computer or on my PC. But the problem with a looter shooter on the phone is all the enemies are bullet sponges, right? It's already a struggle to use the touchscreen controls to shoot, but then I also got to worry about bullet sponges enemies. I feel like when you're finicking with the controls, that's going to be a real headache for a lot of people. So I'm really hoping that this game will have controller support, because that's the only way I feel like you would be able to properly play this game comfortably for long hours. Even if you could get a short session in, doesn't matter, because it's a looter shooter. You're gonna have to get long sessions in to get the proper loot. So the best way to play this is probably going to be with a controller. So please put that in there if it's there. My thing is, why not just make the that Heartland game you announced? That seemed like it was more original. Why not put that on mobile instead of just rehashing assets from one? What do you think, though, Ethos?
I'm looking at the footage right now. It doesn't look that bad from like a graphical standpoint. It actually looks pretty good for a mobile game. But yeah, I kind of agree with you about the whole like mechanical aspect of it. Honestly, I feel like this game isn't even for our demographic or like our demo. I'm pretty sure it's for like people who are like in like third world countries, or people who are like can't afford, like that aren't PC dominated, it's more mobile dominated market. So they have a lot of cell phones and like decent cell phones there, so then they can play a AAA game experience on their phone. It doesn't look terrible, but it looks kind of like one of those like those like Chinese mobile games that rip off of a AAA game and they just change the name of it.
Yeah,
it looks like that to me a little bit,
which is a shame because it's the original.
Yeah,
you can sign up for the beta right now if people want to try it. I'm just curious to see how a looter shooter would actually work on mobile long term. Are they going to support it with DLC? What's the microtransactions going to look like? And then also just like what new gameplay elements. I feel like this is a bad trailer when you announce the game, because it just looks like they're rehashing the original. They should have shown off new features and stuff if they really wanted to sell this mobile game. But I don't know. They probably don't care that much, because they are reusing assets. It's a mobile game. They're like, yeah, let's just toss it out there. We have the brand recognition. Somebody's going to try this game. It just won't be me. Let's talk about Kojima. So he's been in the news a lot lately. One of the reasons, for multiple reasons. One of the reasons is he took to Twitter to reveal that he was working on a game at one point that was like The Boys TV show, which is the hottest TV show out right now. But then, he was watching The Boys and he realized like this game that it was just like The Boys. So he canceled his game because he didn't want people saying that he ripped off The Boys. So my first question is, would you guys want to...
Have you played a Kojima game?
I mean, yeah.
Actually, some of the people like, okay, like we're not gonna act like he hasn't ripped off a bunch of other movies in his games. Like, what are we talking about here?
So like, my question is, would y'all want to see a game like that from Kojima?
I don't care if it's from Kojima, but I would like to see a Boys game.
I agree. I would like to see a Boys type of game.
Isn't that basically Suicide Squad?
The thing is, though, Suicide Squad, a lot of them had powers, or at least they were like super gifted or whatever.
I mean, if you watch the recent season.
Yeah, I mean, the recent season, it changes it up. But the first 2 seasons, they were just regular people.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say it like, mm-hmm?
Well, I'm just saying Harley technically doesn't have superpowers. She's just crazy.
Well, she does have a superpower. She has the same
Boomerang,
one.
Boomerang ain't even. I don't think that's technically a superpower I'd be happy about having.
Okay, but Shark Boy.
Shark Boy's definitely.
Deadshot doesn't have a superpower, but he's so good at what he does, it might as well be one.
So half of them got pseudo superpowers. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, they're gifted, at least you could say. And I could argue Harley Quinn does have a superpower. It's the same one as Batman. It's just not as strong. It's called plot armor.
No, she done got plot armor.
She definitely got plot armor. If you saw the Birds of Prey movie. Yeah, she was dodging all types of bullets and shit. But anyways, it's yeah. What you think, Jay?
I mean, that would have been interesting, I suppose. I don't know, like, what type of game would it be like? Because I mean, Kojima doesn't make like movies. Action, like just straight up action games. So I don't know what type of game that this would be like if he would have made it. But yeah, it's interesting that he went out and said this. He's like, he didn't even watch the rest of the show. You need to watch the rest of the show first of all. You're doing yourself a disservice.
I know it's fire. It's on the bucket list. I might start watching it today. I just haven't had time.
Well, you and him, because he said he stopped watching it. He said he stopped watching 3 episodes after season 1, so he needs to catch up.
Oh, you talking about Ethos?
No, Hideo Kojima.
Oh, I missed that part. Okay.
No,
Kojima.
No, he caught up.
Yeah. Oh, he got up. Okay.
Yeah. People were like, maybe he doesn't like it. Like that was the insinuation originally, was that like, oh, he only talked about it like this, and it seemed kind of negative. Like he was just like, he tried to watch it, but he couldn't get into it. But then like he updated his, like he tweeted it all like a little couple days later and was like, yeah, I'm on season 3 right now. I was like, oh no, this motherfucker likes it. Ain't no way he went through that much content that fast unless he liked it.
Okay, bad. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so I'll leave below for that. But yeah, I mean, this was interesting though, and I mean, I didn't really notice that much, but I mean, I'll just take what you said, as law. Ethos, you said it. Hideo has been, stealing ideas for
I mean,
he's
been inspired by multiple amounts of movies, and some of his favorite movies he's taken references of, and he's put them in a Metal Gear. I don't think that's like even like controversial to even say. Like, he's a movie buff. Like he said this multiple times. He's a movie buff. He loves movies, and a lot of his games are inspired by like the shit that he likes watching. So I get it.
No, okay.
Nothing wrong with it. I mean, everything's inspired by something, so it's not like it's an insult.
Yeah, that is true.
We need a video game inspired by Invincible. That's what we need.
That'd be fire too.
What's
that would be fire too. So yeah, it's interesting though that he had an idea of doing something like this.
Yeah. So the other reason that Kojima was in the news, and this originally started from my research, like on a 4chan board or something like that. So the former prime minister of Japan was giving a speech, and he was assassinated recently. Which, by the way, this is actually the saddest thing about the news. Like, this totally got lost in translation, I feel like. And the news has made it about Kojima, which isn't Kojima's fault. But, yeah, so the former prime minister of Japan was giving a speech, and he was assassinated. And then, like, a 4chan board created this joke where they were saying that the suspect was Kojima, and they were posting his pictures everywhere. And then news outlets started running with this story because they didn't, this is like an example of, like, the world is a much bigger place than you think, and you got to get out of your echo chamber, because like in the gaming space, Kojima is like a god to a lot of people, but if you don't play games, they didn't know who the fuck he was. So news outlets were posting, they ran with this fucking story, this joke that people were posting, and they thought Kojima was the guy that assassinated the former prime minister of Japan, to the point where actually a far right wing I guess he's a part of the far right party in France. His name is like Damien Leroux or some shit. I don't know. He posted it. He posted a picture. This is a fucking influential person in France with a check mark. I put the link. I don't know if y'all saw this this post. I put the link. It's the 3rd link on the giant.
Yeah, I seen it. Yep.
Yeah, and he was saying that Kojima was like an extremist and shit. Like, and this story ran for like a good couple of days. I like, this shit is fucking crazy that like you could just post something on a board and people run with the shit. Like, it shows you how bad journalism is nowadays too.
You see the memes of them being like, he was in a movie theater like watching the Minions movie, and then he leaves the movie theater and he just checks his phone, and it's just like you imagine like the reaction you'd have if you just see your face postered everywhere online as if like you just killed somebody, like a famous person. It's like, well, like Just imagine like people just staring at you. You know, you start getting paranoid.
I think like the crazy part about this story is just how bad journalism nowadays is. Because this dude is a famous person, right? And if like you're a journalist trying to read into a story, and you're not just trying to get clicks. You could have easily just reverse searched those images, just put him, and his name would have came up easily. Everybody knows what fucking Kojima looks like. So the fact that this man had to deal with this shit, I like that is freaking crazy. And I hope
you think Kojima Reduction is talking about libel?
I mean, it's possible to just run with that story. Well, no, because libel and slander is hard to prove because you have to prove that they fucked with his money. That's why most cases get thrown out, and I'd argue they didn't mess with his money. Like, enough damage wasn't done to where his money was being messed with.
It might be different though in Japan. Like there might be different laws. That's only in the United States, right? Libel is difficult in the United States.
Like a way libel and slander would work would be something like the Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez shit. Like when they go to court, if it comes out that he's innocent, he could sue her for slander and libel because she definitely fucked with his money because she said that he shot with it. We don't know the facts. I don't know, but that's what she said. And then if it comes out in court, it's not true. He can make that argument. That's usually how it works, though.
Right, but I'm saying it's different based off of the country you try it in, right? Like for example, like with the Amber Heard, like with the UK, right? Like they went about it a different route by like suing a newspaper, but it was just because the newspaper couldn't be held liable because they were like, well, from what Amber told us, we had no reason not to believe her in good faith, and that's why they got off. They're like, that's why they didn't win. Johnny didn't win that case. But of course, when you try the U.S., there's like different rules involved.
In good faith, that's crazy.
Yeah, like
she looks like a good person.
But I mean, like that's like the argument they use basically, and that's how they got off it because the
that's
UK
a
laws.
Pure white woman.
Yeah, I don't know the Japanese laws when it comes to libel and slander, but it could be completely like a different type of framing compared to like what it is like in the US.
But the thing is, do those because let's say if it is a different framing, do Japanese laws hold up? And let's say he goes after this French dude, does it even hold up because it's a different country?
Then you'd have to figure out, right? Like if you're slandering somebody who's in a different country, right? Do you go to their country and you try them by their laws, or do you find a way to extradite them to your country so you could sue? I have no idea. I don't get paid enough to figure that out. So
yeah, Jay, how you feeling about this one?
I mean, shit is crazy. You see what the power of the internet, yo. Like, just let one person like just make false accusations, and you see where it goes. Like, it's really scary. Like when you think about it, and we're getting into like people killing somebody. Like this person got assassinated, and you're just posting pictures of Hideo, like saying that this is the person that did it. Like that's nothing to play with. So I hope that this doesn't end up going any further, and they actually post the right person that did it. They find him, but like this is just oof. I wouldn't want to be in Hideo's position, like having something like this happen to me. That would be insane.
It shows you how like it's crazy. It's one of the downsides of like the internet. It's made us more connected than ever, but I also feel like we're more disconnected as humans as ever because, like I said, the biggest thing about this story that's lost in translation is like, a former prime minister got assassinated like in broad daylight, and it's like people I see more people focus on the Kojima part, like, oh, like that's crazy, like terrorist shit or whatever, like they really thought that was him. I'm like, like that dude is like the leader of a country. Like,
right,
they still show videos of when fucking Reagan got shot or whatever, like he was like bleeding and shit, like that was like a big deal over here. Or when they threw the shoe at Bush, which that shit was funny.
That shit was funny.
It was hilarious, but yeah,
that shit was funny. Like nobody really got hurt, but like that's just wild. Like,
I mean, this also reminds me of, obviously not to the scale, but like the people coming at Wings. Remember when Wings got attached to something, they was using his picture for something serious?
Yeah, they was accusing him like being a terrorist or some shit like that. Cause like,
that shit's scary, dog. Like
that's the disconnect. I'm like, like Wings has said some fucked up shit, but I'm like, there's no reason why y'all should be trying to hack into his bank account. Y'all are posting these pictures with him being like a terrorist and shit, like, and that's what I mean. But I'm like, the internet has us connected more than ever, but also humans are more disconnected. I'm like, that's a person at the end of the day. Like, you taking it as a troll, like there are limits. Like, y'all taking shit way too fucking far, man. But hey, I mean, there's no repercussions for their actions. You can't really track these people. Just add a VPN, and it's easier to get a VPN than ever. I mean, look at YouTube, Surfshark, you know, private internet access, ExpressVPN, NordVPN. I know them all. I don't have a code. I wish I did, but
hey, yo, make sure you blank them out because they didn't give us no advertising.
Yeah, you right.
Blank their names out.
Yeah, but holla at us, you know.
Yeah, holla at us.
Some work.
Yeah, check for everybody else.
Exactly.
Anyways, next piece of news. So Wo Long, which is the new game coming from Team Ninja, they're the ones behind Neo. They made Ninja Gaiden, right? Or
Correct.
Where's that Ninja Theory? Because I always get those two confused.
Oh no, hold on. Oh, the Team Ninja no. Damn it! Now you got me confused.
Yeah, because it's two of them, and I always get them confused.
Oh, Team Ninja.
Team Ninja Games. I gotta make sure. Yeah, they made Ninja Gaiden. They did. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What the
Ninja
fuck
Gaiden and DOA.
What did Ninja Theory make?
Ninja Theory.
They made Hellblade, Devil May Cry,
and Devil MC.
Man, they gotta change their names. That shit is confusing. Yeah. Anyways,
they're in completely different places of the world because that's a UK studio.
Sheesh. So yeah, Team Ninja. They made Ninja Gaiden and Neo, as well as a bunch of other games. They got a new game coming out called Wo Long. It'll be a day one Game Pass release, as well as you can just buy it if you want. So when they first released the trailer, it got everybody hyped because Lu Bu showed up at the end, and then they gave like a quote to the press where they confirmed this will be a Souls-like type of game. But some new details recently came out. One of the developers did a podcast where he revealed that the game is dark fantasy, Chinese mythology with Chinese martial arts. It'll take place in the Three Kingdoms, the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. There will be famous warlords from the game. I mean, obviously Lu Bu showed up, so I mean, there's a chance maybe someone like is his name pronounced Cao Cao, Tao Tao? How do you pronounce that shit? You know what I'm talking about?
I think it's Cao Cao, but I always say Cao Cao because we were dumb Americans, so I think
dumb Americans.
Liu Bei, like those, like
Liu Bei
say words all the time, but.
Yeah, so yeah, Cao Cao, I'm pretty sure is gonna show up, and then like Guan Yu, that's another famous one. Shout out to Smite. The gameplay though, they said it will be more fast paced, and there will be more freedom compared to Neo, and players will be less dependent on stamina. So like the vibe that I was getting from this is I'm getting more of like, is Team Ninja trying to make their own Sekiro type beat? Because it seems like it's gonna be more focused on just like the combat and the pacing, and it's gonna be a little bit more open. How y'all feeling about this news?
Might be an Elden Ring.
They didn't say full-blown open world. They just said there would be more freedom.
I mean, there's a lot of freedom in Elden Ring.
I would hope that would be the route, because I remember we talked about this before. Like, I feel like every Souls game, like like from now, every Souls game, like from now on, needs to be open world. Like
an Elden Ring game, yeah.
Does everyone need to be open world?
No,
I think, well, not every.
I think you can innovate on the combat. Everything doesn't need to be open world. There's one that's coming out that I'm interested in. It takes place like in the French Revolution. What is it called?
Watch the next God of War be open world.
French Revolution.
Not Ragnarok.
But Steel Rising. That one looks alright. Have y'all seen that game?
Yeah, that's the puppet one, right?
Yeah, the little puppet one. It has like 5 or 6 different fighting styles in it. It's not open world, but it looks pretty cool. Like I want to try that one out, as well as there's another one with the Flintlock. That's another Soulsborne. That was the one they showed at the showcase. That's not open world, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
So I don't think it necessarily needs to be, but this one's got the heat behind it with all the Chinese mythology. I feel like this game is gonna be a sleeper that people until they show like some actual gameplay. People are gonna be. Why is Sonic the Hedgehog trending? Hold up, let me see if there's some slander here.
Oh man, why slander?
It's just people posting fan art. Yeah, yeah. The Sonic community is so weird, dude. I love it. Whatever. Anyways, yeah. Wo Long. That's just some details on it. What else do we got? From Software.
The Three Kings are here, though, boy. I mean, that's a dope era. The Three Kings era. So I think the game gonna be heat just off of that, based off of that alone.
From Software, they revealed they're damn near finished with their next game. It's almost done, and they're staffing up for a few more new projects. So, quick predictions. What do you guys think will be their next game? Something original, a sequel?
Core.
You said what, Ethos?
Armored Core.
Oh, shit. That's different.
Armored people Core. Have been asking about that.
They haven't done it in so long.
Hey, I forgot they made that.
It'd be a perfect time for them to bring back Armored Core.
Sheesh.
That fucking Respawn won't make a fucking mech game.
People want Armored Core, and people want obviously a remake of Bloodborne or Bloodborne 2. So either one of those would be fine. I want Sekiro too, though. That's my main
I want
thing.
Sekiro too.
I want a sequel to Sekiro, 100%.
Fuck that shit, bro. Give me some of that ninja shit, bitch.
How have you been doing with that? By the way,
how's that
TBH?
going?
Been playing it.
I just started playing it again the other day. Like I was doing okay, but like remember I ended up playing the game backwards. I beat that one boss before I beat now I'm on the drunken dude, and I had just got to him, and then I had to play that video. So I was like kind of rushing fighting him, and I was losing because of it. But like he's not even hard. I was just kind of playing impatient. So like next time I'm gonna beat him. I only played him for like a few minutes. But I mean, I feel fine playing the game. I just haven't had time to sit down and play any fucking games that I want to play. At least I got to play what I have to play. You know that shit.
But do we think that like every new IP is going to just continue to be Dark Souls-esque?
I hope
from
I
software.
Hope not. I am worried about like every game becoming Soulsborne. Like it seems like that's where the industry is going. I want to see innovation in other places. With the exception of something like I feel like because the Star Wars IP is so strong, like Jedi Fallen Order, that shit just fucking works because Star Wars does carry it. But like every other game, like Still Rising and like Flintlock, like original game, like I want to see more original IPs. Like do whatever the fuck you want to do. Especially because you can just throw it on Game Pass now that you have that security and people will play it if it's on Game Pass. What about you, Ethos?
I mean, I'll take as many Soulsborne games as I can play, as long as they're done well and they're designed well. I should definitely say that.
Yeah. Make sure you stream them to prove that you actually beat them. That's another.
Yeah,
oh my God! Here he goes, bro.
What happened? Let's keep the show on the rails, guys. New open world Terminator game. Do we care about a Terminator game? Open world Terminator. Anybody?
I got lost when it said survival. I'm like, just anything survival as just gets on my nerves. Like I don't like survival games. I know other people do, but it's just not my cup of tea. So I was with it until they said survival, and I was like,
survival could mean anything. Survival could be something extreme, as like a game like Rust or any of those other Steam early access games. But then survival could also be like there's survival elements. Like maybe it could be like a Mad Max open world game where like you got to maintain how much water you drink, but for the most part, it's not a survival game. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, could be, but again, if you're putting emphasis on that, so I don't know. It just like if it's a Rust or type of game, it's not for me. Other people might like it, but I don't like those type of games. So we'll see. I'll wait for the gameplay to get full judgment. But as soon as I saw survival, it kind of turned me off. But I mean, it will be dope because it said it's going to be between the events of Terminator 2 and the Resistance movement. So I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I'm not. If it is like a Rust type of game where you got to build a fort with your friends and then robots are trying to come in, hard pass.
I'm good.
Yeah, hard pass.
That just seemed like exactly what type of game. Like that's the description right there. It just seemed like that's what you're gonna do, and I'm like,
Any building mechanics, I'm good.
Also, open world. Come on, guys, man. Especially if you don't have experience making open world games. Can we? I want to see more semi-open world games, okay? Like Jedi Fallen Order, okay? I keep bringing that one back up, but like it just gave you enough wiggle room to explore, but it wasn't overwhelming. It didn't feel like too much, or like The Outer Worlds, that was another good one. Nice little bit of wiggle room, but like, god damn, bro, like all this shit on the fucking map. I'm tired of these open world games. Mega Man Battle Network, that was announced during the Nintendo Direct. That was the only thing I cared about. It'll include, which by the way, I didn't even know there were 10 Mega Man Battle Networks. That's how poor I was as a kid. I only had 2. I thought there were 3.
I was just about to say the same thing. I had no clue that there were 10.
When did these other ones come?
4. I must have missed that. I missed the memo about that.
You had them all, Ethos?
No, I've only played 4.
Yeah, look at the link I put on the show notes, and then scroll down to the middle. There's 10 of them. I was like, when did these bitches come out? I'm about to Google.
I'm definitely gonna buy it. Yeah, because I remember I played. Let me see it. I think I played.
And these were on the game. The final one, if you Google it on Amazon, it's on the Game Boy Advance. These were all on the Game Boy Advance. It wasn't like 3DS games or nothing like that.
Oh, so they were naming these. Okay, then maybe that's where the additional confusion came from.
Like
they started naming them like Pokemon games. Yeah, like at Battle Network 2 and then 3 white, 3 blue. So so they split those and then
I played
4
Battle
red
Network,
sun, blue moon.
I played 2. I played white. I think I played one of the blues. I can't remember which blue it was, but I remember I played something blue, Battle Network.
Okay, so
I
that's
don't
how
even
they
know
split
side
it.
I never played side or team anything.
That's what they split it. That makes more sense then.
But I'm gonna play all these now.
Like Pokemon games.
I don't care what nobody says. They should reboot this shit. This is the best Mega Man. I don't care what Mega Man X fans
I
say.
agree. This is my favorite Mega Man version.
I love the show and the games.
You play that other Mega Man game I told you about?
I got it. I just haven't gotten around to playing it, but I did buy it. Was it Steps from Eden, I think?
Yep. You'll like it.
I never play any of these Battle Network games. I never really was a Mega Man fan, period. Like, I ain't play any other Mega Man.
It's nothing like the other Mega Mans.
It's really different.
It's almost like live chess. Like, you have like these battle chips that give you powers and shit.
Real-time strategy.
Yeah, it's fire.
You can build like cards or chips and shit. Yeah.
Let's see. E3 is coming back. Interesting enough, it's not only coming back next year, but it was revealed that their new partner ReedPop will be running E3. I guess it's not being run by the ESA anymore. And if you're not familiar with why you should care, ReedPop are the people who are responsible for PAX. They run that, which has managed to be successful all throughout the COVID. They've been getting people out and about into the event. So are we excited the return of E3 and new management, basically? Do we think this is going to reinvigorate the industry?
Dang, it's a tough one to really gauge. While I do like PAX, that's a totally different thing than E3, because E3 again began as an industry, an industry insider event, and ReedPop running this just screams like I'm going to let more regular attendees in. So I just don't know how I feel about that possibility. But I guess I can say I'm mildly excited that E3 is coming back, pending anything that might happen next year that might derail it. I do want it to still be there. Don't get me wrong. I want E3 to still be there. But I was also saying that, maybe if E3 wasn't going to either come back, or if it does, truly come back next year, it's just not going to be the same. And that really just leads the way for Jeff Keighley and some of the Game Fest to really continue to grow in itself, because that doesn't look like that's going to subside, even though E3 is, saying they're going to come back. So we'll see how this ends up. I was going to ask you all, and I guess we'll get into it with the rest of the GI members later, but like, if this does end up being a thing, besides you, TBH, with the possibility of G4, because I know it's a thing that you almost likely go to, like, is it something that we want to come back to, or no?
I'm already here in LA, so and by that time I actually just told my leasing office that because my lease is up in September, but I want to stay in the building, so I was like, call me if you guys have any. I'm trying to get a 2-bedroom, so you guys can just stay at my fucking place if need be. If I have a 2-bedroom, I can sleep on the floor.
Again,
it's better than getting a hotel. Hold on. You would just have to get a flight. It would be better than going to a fucking hotel and spending thousands of dollars.
That's true.
What's the name? So to me, I would say if I have like a bigger spot, I would say it's probably worth coming, because you wouldn't have to spend that much money to get over here. I'm okay with this event and I'm okay with them opening it to the people. I've been said though, just make it 4 days, 2 days press, 2 days for the people, and the press can actually come on those last 2 days. It's just you have to accept that you're going to be amongst the people, and it's also a great opportunity for people who have maybe smaller blogs or like YouTube channels. They can get out there and hustle and bustle and make some plays. But like for like mainstream press, give us 2 days. The public can get 2 days, and I think it'll be okay if they have enough booths and shit. How you feel about it, Ethos?
Man, if COVID's still running rampant and motherfuckers still being nasty, I'm still not thinking about wanting to go, man. That PAX thing kind of was another reminder, man. Because me and JG were talking about, maybe we'll go to PAX this year. And then lo and behold, PAX East, and it was a disaster on Twitter. Everybody caught COVID. And I've been 2 years clean. I'm gonna keep it that way.
Same. I'm trying to keep it that way too. I think it comes down to personal responsibility though. Like you be seeing these videos on social media. It'd be large groups of people dancing together and like hanging out and stuff. It's like when I go to events, like I keep my interactions limited. I talk to who I need to talk to. I don't touch a lot. Like you can still navigate. The problem is most people just don't give a fuck, bro. So it's like, as long as you are personally responsible, you should be okay.
People are way too comfortable still. Like
yeah. I wouldn't be caught in the middle of no damn mosh
I'm
pit.
comfortable, but last thing I want to deal with is a motherfucker coming up to me with no mask. Oh, hey, bro. Oh my God, are you eating those? Like,
well, here's the beauty of it.
Oh
Like the
my
masks
Lord.
and shit, it's harder to recognize you. So like people are less inclined to come up.
I'm gonna wear a Kylo Ren mask. Oh God, nobody gonna know who I am.
Fucking, just
I'm
wear
wearing
like
some
a
sort of-
Joker mask or something.
Yeah, some sort of straight up helmet mask, bro. I'll wear my Doom helmet, or you wear your Titanfall helmet, and I'll wear my Mass Effect helmet. Yeah, I'll wear my Mass Effect helmet.
Actually, that actually backfired.
true.
People might want pictures because they think we're cosplayers.
That's fine. Hey,
yeah,
I still got the helmet on. Hey,
That's true.
I ain't gonna.
But I
no
remember,
helmet on.
I remember like the last couple of years, I kept getting sick, ended up being Bubble Boy. When we
Yeah,
were making our
that's
trip.
how I'm
I was
terrified
like,
for you,
I was like,
JD.
yo, I was like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm putting my mask on when I got on the planes, and you see, ever since then, I ain't get sick. And
Yeah.
I actually wore the mask to the event too, so I want to continue doing that. Now that it's more of a accepted thing, it won't be an issue. So I think I'm just going to continue to live like that if I'm gonna go to stuff like this.
I haven't really been sick ever since COVID. Outside, like it was like December of 2019 or like November of 2019. Like I felt like I was dying, which I think maybe that was me getting COVID, and we just didn't know it was COVID at the time. But like outside of that, ever since like 2020, like I haven't even gotten like remotely just regular sick, right? Like anything where it's like, oh my God, I got the flu. I haven't got any of that. So.
Yeah, I haven't been
Same.
sick since I lived in DC. It's literally been like 3 years now.
It's been pretty good. Nothing where I've ever felt like, oh my God, I need to go to a hospital. I can't remember the last time I've even gone to a hospital.
But that again tells you though that it's not necessarily you. Like when you get sick, I truly think it's because of other people, and that's why I was saying about myself. Like, I don't think that we really put too much emphasis on like keeping your distance from people and making sure that others around you, like if you see that they're acting weird, like we're shaking hands and hugging and stuff, like people just still go to the bathroom and don't wash their hands afterwards, like little things like that. We used to keep the sanitizer on deck, but again, that doesn't stop like when you're super close to somebody and they may have a little cough or something, like we just take it as there may be nothing, but and then you end up being sick the next day. Like we weren't really protecting ourselves as much as we needed to, and COVID, like for the most part, did show the hypocrisy that we were really just facing as a nation. Even though there's still people that are way too comfortable and don't care about their own personal hygiene, like I think that a lot more people are self-aware to protect themselves from it now. So
yeah,
we'll see. But I think I'm going to continue to do that.
I think the reason I've remained healthy is because I've always been kind of like conscious of like germs and shit. The difference between COVID and then is like, even before COVID, I never touched door handles and stuff like that. Like any chance I had not to touch something, but like I do remember before COVID, I might go long periods without washing my hands within reason. Like say I hadn't used the bathroom or something, you're just out and about. Nowadays, like no matter what, like I got my keychain on me. It's like I'm always at a convention. It was like at Summer Games Fest, any hand that I shook right afterwards, I literally pull out the hand sanitizer and right in front of people. I really don't give a fuck, bro. I'll do it right in front of you immediately just to be safe. And like I have noticed going to events, most people don't do that. They still operate as if COVID doesn't exist, and they're just not cognizant of all the things that they're doing.
Yeah, so we'll see, but it's going to be very interesting. I keep saying it's going to be very interesting what E3 is going to look like, because I just don't think it's going to look the same. Like I wouldn't be surprised that if next year like they end up not having enough exhibitors for both the wings in the LA Convention Center. Like if it ends up being like that, that E3 has fell off. But like I said, if not next year, like the year afterwards, especially if some of the Game Fest ends up gaining a lot more steam. But we'll see, because this is going to be a major thing. I need to figure out what's going to happen with Gamescom and TGS too, to see how they've been affected.
As the first year without E3, I kind of feel like we do need it. Like, I don't know, man. Summer Games Fest just didn't hit the same for me compared to like E3. The excitement wasn't there. But the only way that it can survive is they need to lower the booth costs, and if they want to make the money back, let the public in for like a couple days. But like they got to find ways to entice people back in. And then also companies need to understand that you don't need to make crazy ass booths. The thing is, like, if you have a game like God of War Ragnarok, right, and you want to show it off at E3 like a build, I'd argue, do you really need to spend money on all these 100-foot graphics and shit? Like, it's fucking Ragnarok. It's gonna speak for itself. People are gonna play it. They know it's there. So like I would say companies need to also think about how they're spending their money too. so that doesn't become an excuse. But who knows? That's all I got on the show notes. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add to the conversation before we wrap this up?
I think we're good.
Cool. All right, well, Ethos, you got the floor. What is your closing statement for Gaming Illuminati episode 130? Go.
I've been looking at this Skull and Bones gameplay while we've been talking this entire podcast, and yeah, this might not be for me. I'm good.
That shit going double plastic. I'm calling it. JG, what's your closing statement for Gaming Illuminati episode 130? Go.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. But I appreciate everybody for, again, listening or watching the episode. Continue your support. That means a lot to us. I don't know if TBA said it. You go say it, but rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. Helps us move up the algorithm. And once again, it does help more than you think. We have been constantly in talks with some brands and stuff. So, with that being said, like, let's continue the momentum, because once one thing falls through, then other opportunities present themselves. So yeah, I've been doing some things in the background, and let's continue that. So let's get more eyes on the podcast. It will lead to bigger and better things. Oh, and I have a story I'll tell you all off stream, and I may tell this on the stream as well later on. But it's a little too long for me saying it right now, so I'll tell you all later.
True. My closing statement for episode 130 is I'm on Twitter right now, and No Jumper just posted a video. A Spirit Airlines plane caught fire while landing in Atlanta because its brakes overheated. So like they barely just escaped with their lives. Like the whole plane is smoking, everybody's panicking and shit. And the point I wanted to make is, like, at this point, Spirit Airlines is a meme and it's a joke, and it's because there's truth to a lot of jokes, you know? I just want to tell everybody, love yourself. Stop taking Spirit Airlines. It's called Spirit because literally it will lift your spirit out of you and fucking kill you.
I thought you were going to say how you took a Spirit flight.
Don't call me poor.
It wasn't you? Who was it?
I've never taken a Spirit flight. What the fuck?
I took one, unfortunately. I took one. I took one, unfortunately, to go back home and never again.
That's what was. Somebody told me recently they took a
No, this shit is actually scary. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. If you look at the No Jumpers Twitter right now, they just put this shit is actually scary. Like the whole. Oh, I got you. The whole fucking plane.
Yeah, my wife was telling me about that too. I was like, yeah, that's scary as shit.
I'm about to DM it to you. But yeah, love yourself. Stop flying Spirit. If you're it's already a risk you're already risking your health with COVID by being in the airport.
No such thing as a life that's better than yours.
Yeah, so you might as well take a decent airline that's gonna get you there from point A.
Hey, yo!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So be safe out there, folks. But yeah, like JG said, rate the show 5 stars. If you enjoyed it, of course you enjoyed it. And that's on Apple and Spotify. If you're on Apple, open the Spotify app. If you're on Spotify, open the Apple app and rate it 5 stars. We need your rating because it moves up the algorithm. Other than that, if you're watching the YouTube version at youtube.com/GI updates, hit the like button, leave a comment, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.